Okay, so you should have done the math for 2550 divided by 6. So we write it like this. We're dividing it into 6 pieces. The decimal goes straight up. How many groups of 25, how many groups of 6 can I make out of 25? I can make 4 groups. That would be 24. I have 1 left over. Bring down my 5. How many groups of 6 can I make out of 15? I can make 2. 12. That gives me 3 left over. Bring down. How many groups of 6 can I make out of 30? I can do 5. 30 would be 0. So it is $4.25 per t-shirt. The other one is a 4-pack for $18. Again, I need to make one. I need the unit price, so how much it costs per one t-shirt. That's what I need to know. So what did I do to 4 to get to 1? I divided it into 4 groups, so I'm only looking at one t-shirt. So I need to take this money and divide it between the 4 t-shirts to see how much each t-shirt cost. So 18. How many groups of 4 can I make out of 18? I can make 4 groups. That would be 16. I have $2 left over. Remember what we're dealing with here. Can I take $2 and split it between the 4 shirts? You betcha. I put the decimal here, add a 0, bring the 0 down. How many groups of 4 can I make out of 20? 5. So everybody would get 50 cents out of that $2. And then that would be 0. I need a number above every number in my decimal place, or in my dividend, sorry, and it's money. I need to go to 2 decimal places. So that one would be $4.50 per shirt. So which one would you rather spend, $4.25 or $4.50? I'd rather spend the $4.25, so that is the 6-pack deal. So the better deal is the 6-pack. And then unit price of the better deal is $4.25. If it were to ask me the difference between the two deals, it would be a difference of 25 cents, because we need to subtract or see what's different about them. What's different about them is this one is 25 cents less, this one's 25 cents more. So the difference is 25 cents. Looking down at number 9, Amy drove 204 miles in 3 hours. Find the unit rate per hour. So that tells me I need to know it for 1 hour. So again, starting out at the 204 to 3, this is miles to hours. So what I know over here is that I need 1 hour. What I need to know is how many miles. So what did I do to 3 to get to 1? I broke it into 3 groups. So what do I need to do with this 204? Divide it into 3 groups. So 204 divided by 3. How many groups of 3 can I make out of 2? 0. How many groups of 3 can I make out of 20? 6. So that's 18. Subtract, I have 2. Bring down the 4. How many groups of 3 can I make out of 24? That would be 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So she went 68 miles per hour. So my answer would be 68 miles per hour. Next we have Charles, who bought 3 tables for $390. Find the unit rate per table. So 3 tables at $390 each, but I only want the price of 1 table. So if I take these 3 tables and divide them into groups of 3, and then I take this $390 and divide it into groups of 3, so it's the money per table. Again, we could draw a picture of that. Here's my 3 tables. Together, they equal $390. How much is each table? So if I split that into the 3 groups, how many divide by 3? That would be 300 divided by 3 is 100. So each of them would get 100. 90 divided by 3 is going to be 30. So they would each be $130. So the rate would be $130 per table. Number 11, John loves to run. One week he ran for 7 hours and traveled 28 miles at a constant rate. Write a unit rate for John's running. So 7 hours, 28 miles. If I want to know how much he ran per hour, what did I do to 7 to get to 1? I broke it into 7 groups. Here, 28 divided by 7 would give me 4 miles. And make sure you have your titles here, 4 miles per hour. I could also think of it this way. Each of these is an hour. And in total, he ran 28 miles, or I could look at it like this, 28 miles. So how much did he run in each of these miles? He would have had to run 4 miles in each of those hours. So his rate is 4 miles per hour. If you did it the other way, because sometimes kids will get confused and they put the 1 here and try to figure it out. You have to really think about, does that make sense? Could a human run that fast, or does it make sense in that context? Could somebody run 4 miles in an hour? Sure they could. So if John continues to run at this rate, how far, sorry about my typo, how far would he travel in 9 hours? So again, I could use my tape diagram up here. If this is 7 and I need to get to 9, I need to add 2 more groups of 4. Or I could use my tape diagram, my double V. And if he runs 1 hour is 4 miles, and I know he needs 9 hours, what did I do to 1 to get to 9? Times 9. What would he do to 4? Times 9. He would run 36 miles. That's hours. That's miles. You could also do it. You could also think about, okay, this was 7 hours and it's 4 hours in each mile or each hour. And that was 7 hours. 9 hours is 2 hours more than 7 hours. So that means I'm going to have 2 of these boxes, which is 8. 8 more than 28 is 36. So how far would he travel? 36 miles. Make sure you put that label there. Again, that helps you to see if the context is right. Could he run 36 miles in 9 hours over a week? Yes. All right, last one. Tanya is considering getting a part-time job. They both pay a constant rate per hour. The tables show how the rates you get for the tables below show the rates you get for different amounts of time. So here's job 1, and for 2 hours you would get $15.50, 4 hours is $31, 6 is $46.50, and 8 is $62. Job 2 is 3 hours is $37.20, 5 hours is $62, 7 hours is $86.80. So it says if Tanya wants to make the most money, which job should she choose? So when I'm looking at this, the first thing that comes to mind is I need it to be apples to apples, because this is 2 hours, this is 3 hours, this is 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. I don't have anything that's apples to apples. So how could I make it apples to apples? Lots of ways. I could look at it as per hour. What do they make per hour? The rate. I could look at how I could combine some of these pieces. I see that this is 6 hours. So could I do 3 and 3 and do 2 of those and then compare 6 hours to 6 hours? I could. Could I trying to think of other options here. 3 and 5, I could combine those together to get 8. So that's your strategies that you get to choose which one you want to do. So for me, I feel like unit rate is the best way to kind of really understand and look at it. So I would figure out how much they would make per hour. So $15.50 per hour. So for 2 hours, if I divide it between them, I would get that $7. That's 7 again. And then that would be, you get $7.75 per hour up here. And then for this one, if it's $37.20 for 3 hours, how much is it for 1 hour? I didn't do my calculations very well for this one, because I can already tell right here, 4 hours you make $31, in 3 hours you make $37.20. You make more in 3 hours than you do in 4 hours. So I should have made this one closer to that one, so you had to problem solve a little bit more. Kudos to you if you figured that out. But that would be 1, and then we have 7, that's 2. 12 is 4. And then 0. So you make $12.40 per hour here versus only $7.75 for up there. So that's one way. And then I would explain, so which job should she take? She should definitely take job 2. How do you know? Job 1 hourly rate is only $7.75. Job 2 is much higher at $12.40 per hour. You could have also said, if you used the 4 and the 3, you could have said job 2, because in 3 hours she makes $37.20, which is more than she makes in 4 hours at just $31. So make sure how you know is you showing some of that computation and using pieces of the data in your explanation. All right. Oops, sorry. Hopefully you can see that. I hope you are ready for the test tomorrow. If you are not, you could go to Prodigy Game and play some additional questions. You can also come to a review session tomorrow morning from 9 to 9:30.